Hi guys, it's me Annie and I'm back with another video. On my channel I do all kinds of DIY, crafting and cooking. So if you like that kind of content, please consider to subscribe and ring the notification bell so that you won't miss any of my future videos. Also, hit that like button if you like this video. Today, I'm going to be showing you how to make your very own beeswax wraps. What do you need to make beeswax wraps? It is very easy and very simple. You will need some scrap fabric, a scissor to cut it to the sizes and shapes you want. You are going to need some beeswax. This is beeswax I bought from Pure Nature. It's a company here in New Zealand. I will leave a link down below in the description box if you are interested. And then also you will need some baking paper. You will need an iron and also a surface that you can iron on. I will show you how to make these beeswax wraps really easy, really simple, and it's good for the environment. Today I will be showing you how to make your very own beeswax wraps. Beeswax is naturally antibacterial and food safe, and beeswax wraps is a great alternative to plastic bags and cling wrap, great for the environment. Beeswax wraps are easy and affordable to make, and they can last from 3 to 6 months, and after that you can just put them in the compost bin because they are 100% biodegradable as well. Beeswax wraps can be used to cover all kinds of food, wrapped sandwiches, fruits and vegetables, everything that is not meat. It can be washed in cold soapy water, not in warm water, because the beeswax will melt if you wash it in warm water. So let's get on with it and make some beeswax wraps. Now I will be making my first beeswax wrap. First we will place a piece of parchment paper or baking paper down on our prepared ironing surface. You can use an ironing board, but I'm just doing it on my counter as it is easier for me to make this video. Then you will be placing some beeswax on top of your fabric. So this beeswax you want to spread as evenly as you can over your fabric, so that when it melts it will go onto all the sides and the corners, and it will seep through the entire piece of fabric. So now what I'm going to do is I cover it with another piece of parchment paper. The iron is on a cotton or linen setting. It's quite warm to make the wax melt easily, and then you just go over slowly and make the wax melt into the fabric. You will notice as the wax is melting, you can see through the parchment paper or the baking paper, you can see the melted wax, and you can kind of push it along with your iron to make sure it seeps through all the fabric. that all the wax is melted and the fabric is totally saturated, you can open up your baking paper and take out your wax wrap and just hold it a little bit to dry. It dries quite quickly, and then you can place it on a cooling rack to cool down, and it will harden. You can make different shapes and sizes of the wax wrap. Here I've got a round circle of about 30 centimeters, and I'll be placing this on the baking paper. Because this is a bit wider than the baking paper, I will be folding it in half. But firstly, I will be placing some wax pebbles on top before folding it in half. And the wax should melt straight through the fabric because it is thin enough. If you are going to be using thicker fabric, it will take more beeswax to soak through the fabric, and you might need to add beeswax as you go. Just make sure you have 100% cotton fabric. As I've said, if you find you don't have enough beeswax all over the fabric, you can always go back and just put some more where you feel you need some more. Place it onto the fabric and sandwich it again between the baking paper, and slowly go over with your iron until all the beeswax is melted. Now you can open up your parchment paper or your baking paper, take out your wax wrap, open it up, and it should harden quite quickly as the beeswax cool down. So what to do if you realize you put too much wax on your wax wrap and you're afraid that it will be cracking because there's too much wax on it. An easy solution would be just to remove some of the wax. We do the same process. We sandwich the wax wrap in between two baking papers, and then instead of putting wax on the wax wrap, we put a clean piece of cotton fabric on top of the wax wrap to absorb the excess wax that is on the wrap. I'll firstly place the fabric over the pieces that has excess wax on it. I'll cover it up with another piece of baking paper And now I'm taking my iron. It's on a warm setting. It's on the cotton setting, so it's quite hot. Then I just go over the wax wrap, and the piece of cotton material, the fabric that I put on it, will absorb some of the excess beeswax. And you can always turn this extra piece of fabric into a wax wrap as well. Now your wax wrap is thinner and more bendable. If you want to tidy up your wax wraps to look a little bit more neat and tidy, like I've got these ugly looking edges here, you can just cut it with a normal scissor into a nice straight edge, or you can use pinking shears. That's the scissors with the teeth that you can buy at craft stores, but I don't have one of those, so I'm just going to use a normal scissor and cut off the ugly edges to make it nice and straight, and just to make my wax wraps look a bit more tidy. There you go, a nice tidy edge, and it looks very neat and tidy. Kinds of food that you can wrap with your beeswax wraps. I have a block of cheese, and I'm using the orange or yellow fabric to wrap this block of cheese. You can wrap it like a present, and by touching the beeswax wrap with your hand, the heat of your hand will make the wax softer and bendable, and then you just fold the wax wrap around the food that you want to cover. You can also use it to put over a bowl if you don't have a lid for the bowl. Use the heat of your hand to make the wax more sticky, and that will make it stick to the bowl. What I like to do is I just fold the wax over and hold it for a little bit, and that will make it stick to itself, the wax wrap. Just fold it over, make it stick to itself, and that creates a very nice seal around your bowl. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Thank you for watching, and I will see you next time. So I hope you enjoyed this video today and make some beeswax wraps for yourself to use in your home to be more sustainable and use less plastic and create less waste.